I'm Michael Elmgreen. I'm one half of Elmgreen and Dragset.
And I'm Ingar Dragset. I'm the other half.
Our working process is based on the dialogue between Inga and me. You come up with an idea and the other one might say, oh yeah, we can work on that. Or the other one would say, no. So it's also based on a lot of disappointments. That might be a good thing. It might filter the worst of the ideas.
We're kind of editors, you could say.
We didn't work in a solo way before working together. So for us, making art is our collaboration.
Mikael was writing poetry before we met, and I come more from the theater background. Our very first projects together were all live acts. We also used these early performances to find an expression for queer identities that we felt didn't really exist in the media.
A lot of artists from that period, queer artists, meant a lot for us when we started doing the works ourselves. Artists like Felix González Torres was an enormous inspiration for a whole generation of artists.
Felix González Torres' work, Untitled, the billboard with an unmade bed on it, was actually directly inspirational for a work that we have done later on as a sort of ode to González Torres. We work mostly with installation art, sculpture, and more often with art in public space.
It's quite different to work in public space compared to showing your work in a museum context. Because when you show it outdoor, people haven't asked to get an art experience. Your message must also be maybe clearer, more bold. The neon sign, "It is good business for some," refers to the fact that the epidemic was very profitable for the pharmaceutical industry that could develop antiviral medicines that people need to take for the rest of their life.
That there is a business aspect to illnesses is something we maybe tend to forget, and it tells us something about society at large. Now in Norway we will show the work for the first time on screens outside, and that's of course a completely different mediation of the work. It reaches out to far more people.
Side effects consist on different configurations of glass jars in different sizes. And inside the jars, you have the real food pigments that you use to color the different pills in antiviral medications.
The pigments are shown in glass vessels that look like a combination almost of a candy jar and an urn.
The whole series of side effects is also called stigma. Stigma is a problem that hasn't disappeared. You still have a certain social stigma attached to the illness. The current pandemic has raised new questions of how the world were handling the AIDS epidemic and renewed an interest in the problems.
It's kind of strange to see how everyone went into action and very, very quickly found a vaccine. When you compare it to the AIDS pandemic, where it took many, many years, there's a sort of glaring contrast there. And one, of course, feels that it's not dealt with in the same way because it's for everybody and not a group that was seen as marginalized or a minority.
Today it's really important that we remember that the problem has not gone.